Hey guys, Jeremy with Middle Tennessee Firearms Training here with a review, and it's not on a gun. It's actually on a class I just took at Patriot Training, run by Clay Howell. He's the lead instructor, head instructor there, with Jeff Mayhew being his right-hand man, and they got a really good staff up there. I wanted to actually give a review on this class because a lot of you are followers, people who've come through my classes, and also people who just email asking me, hey, who would you recommend for additional rifle training or additional classes? You know, they have that. There's a tab on our website, if you're not aware of this, that says training resources with a list of highly recommended and well tested. Look, I've trained with all of them. They're good people. There's a reason Patriot Training's made that list. I've trained with Clay Howell. He's trained with me. Uh, we both share a passion with inspiring and teaching others to better themselves, both with a firearm and just in everyday life, the way you look at things and the way you do things, right? So I don't want to spend too much time before we get into this, but I want to at least let you guys know of some things that are coming your way or our way on our channel and on our website. We do have some additional training content coming your way. We do have a couple more reviews coming your way, whether it be we do have a firearm, we do have a pistol that we're working on right now, making sure we get the right round count with that before we really try to dive deep into that. We also have two more products, both of them made by T-Rex Arms, a chest rig in which I used in this class and another class and have actually used on my range a little bit now. And then we've also got it's a sling bag. It's a T-Rex Arms satchel active shooter response bag. Pretty cool little bag. Don't the cheesy name of it, I'm not sure. Maybe I misspoke on what it is an active shooter something bag. And it's a response bag. It's good stuff. We'll get there. So that is coming your way. Pay attention for that. Look, June was an extremely busy month at Middle Tennessee Firearms Training. We had 2 classes of our own that were sold out, and then we attended 3 other classes by 3 different instructors. So very busy month. But let's dive into Expert Rifleman. I've got the handout here. Yes, it is folded because, well, when we got out on the range and we actually had to reference this a couple of times and use it a couple of times, I went ahead and just folded it and actually stuck it down in chest rig to where I could quickly get in and out of that and use it when necessary and do what I needed to do with it. So yeah, it is folded. Sorry, but it is. Also, Clay will be happy to see this because I have always been bad at taking notes. I'm always that guy who's like, I'm going to write everything down, and then I end up not. But I was able to gather a lot of my thoughts. I took notes in several different notepads, small notepads, this notepad, and I did that because different times on the range, I didn't want the bigger notepad, a smaller notepad. But then I've combined all the notes and my thoughts past the class to where I could talk about it and actually reference this. I even wrote a few things down in here. You know, it is what it is there, right? So I feel like I'm improving myself there, Clay. You should be impressed. I hope you are anyway. I don't know. Anyways, let's talk about this. We got a hat here we'll talk about more, but let's talk about curriculum. And it's a 2-day course, Patriot Train. It's in McMinnville, the range we use. The handout. First of all, very well put together, and of course very professional, being that spiral done there and a nice, again, protective cover on the front. This is just very well put together, and everything throughout. I mean, we've got your safety brief at the beginning, and then everything throughout past that all checks out with what this class is about. Start to finish. Again, I mentioned you had to reference it while out on the range and actually write some things down in it while out on the range. So that's always good. There was also a very well put together PowerPoint presentation there in the classroom setting. And again, very professional done, and it was good. So A+ there, I guess, if you want to give it that, but it was very, very good. The distances, what do we shoot at? First of all, my previous training, 150 yards and in, and then the vast majority of my training is 50 yards and in. The class that I teach at Middle Tennessee Firearms Training is a basic intro to rifle carbine, and it is a 50 yards and in. We make sure you got good zero, and then we move right into some ready up drills, reloads, and various things like that, just to get you familiar with the AR-15 platform. It's a good intro course and a beginner course, and I would say that's a good course to take prior to taking Expert Rifleman. Now, here's the other thing. Read the name Expert Rifleman. No, you do not have to be Expert Rifleman to take that class at Patriot Training. I learned that very quickly because I'm no expert at distance, although I'm in the right direction here, having now completed that class, and I think it did pretty well, actually. I was very impressed. I've never trained beyond 150 yards. I knew the gun was capable, and to put to rest some of the misnomers out there about the AR-15 and 5.56 223. The gun is very capable at distance. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. No, it's not 308. No, it's not 6.5 Creedmoor. No, it's not any of those other calibers like that. Put all that aside for a moment. The capability of the AR-15, it's a very capable rifle and a very capable caliber. Anybody who's thinking the old saying, and I know Clay has said this in his class, anybody who's heard the old saying, oh, it's there to maim, the 5.56 is to maim. No. It's simply not true. That's a misnomer as well. So this class, shooting at distance, I took a rifle that I had never trained on before. I also took an LPVO and put it on there that I had never trained on before. So this was a brand new experience for me. Very much allowed me to take the instructor cap off for 2 days and be the student, which is not always easy as an instructor, but it was easy this time because I truly needed to soak in all of this information about my rifle and about training with that rifle and training at distance and all that stuff. One huge compliment I would give Clay, and this is a sign of a good instructor, is anytime an instructor can pull from the memory bank detailed information. I don't mean like, well, it's something like this, and they kind of give a brief description on it, and it's a lot of and they give you a little bit of that information. Example. Clay went down the line, was seeing what people's optics were. There was, I can't remember exactly how many people were in the class, but I'm going to say 10 plus. But I know there was at least 8 plus different optics brands. So we had a guy with what he thought was an ACOG. By the time we were done zeroing and checking zero, we had learned that it was not a real ACOG. It was actually counterfeit ACOG. It was not real. It wouldn't hold zero, and there were some things that were just funky about it. So important little side note here, train with your gear, find the breaking point with your gear, and buy quality gear. If the price seems too good to be true on it, it probably is. Just a thought. So there's that. But one thing I really like, and it helps inspire, this is anybody who's thinking about becoming an instructor, or anybody out there who's thinking about taking a class and wants to know if they should be able to trust the instructor with all the information they're giving. Here's a little clue. If the instructor can earn, I know some people come in skeptical, but if the instructor can earn your confidence, the confidence that you have in the instructor, one of those ways to do that is to be able to do what Clay did with people's optics. And by that, I mean, we went down the line and he'd point and say, hey, what do you got on that rifle? Okay, so you're seeing this, and would describe to a T full detail of what they were seeing through their optic. And I don't mean like, this is how big the image should be, or this is, no, it wasn't that. It was what kind of reticle, where all your hash marks were. I mean, he could draw it. Everyone's optic without looking through the optic. He would go to, and, oh, you're seeing this. Oh, yours has a chevron. Oh, yours uses crosshairs. And I bet you got little lines out to the side that say that the whole works. Now, I get it. Some people are like, well, that's not that big a deal. It really actually is. When you can remember details like that and then pull from them, it's a sign that A, you've done it a time or two, and B, you can recall information like that. And it's awesome to see that. That inspires confidence the students have then in the instructor, and trust that they have in the instructor. So that was phenomenal. Clay did an excellent job with that. Never once did I question that, and I don't think anybody did there. The other thing too is Clay's got a gift, the way he tells you things and the way he tells stories. And yeah, he gave us some war stories of a couple guys in the Revolutionary War and a guy in the Civil War. And he the way he says it, he has a gift the way he tells stories. And it was in such a way that by the end of class, man, at the end of day 2, not only was my emotional, like I had some emotional moments where I was ramped up, man. I was ready to run through a brick wall for Clay, and I was ready to get out and train more with my rifle. And that is a win by the instructor and a win for the student, because that's what we're here to do as instructors, is inspire and train more, inspire you to be better, inspire you and motivate you to be better. And that, I walked out of that class wanting that and feeling that. So wow, it was just a great experience overall. As far as distances, again, 300 plus yards, 365 yards at one point. Let's talk about a little bit about this hat. No, I'm not going to go into detail. Clay's like, don't you do it. So here we go. We got this hat here. It says Expert Rifleman. It was not a gift. I did not buy it. It is earned along with a rifleman patch. You can earn them separately. I won't tell you how. That is for the class. Take the class, you'll see how. But you guys that have taken the course, and those of you who have seen this hat, know about this hat, you automatically know something about me now. Some of you, as soon as the video started, you immediately went, I know what's about to happen here. I know something about Jeremy right now because of this hat. They're earned. There isn't just this endless supply of them in circulation. They're earned. And phenomenal class. Again, I cannot say enough about that. So we had to do a certain exercise, and you can earn a patch and or a hat. I happened to earn both over the 2-day period because you did that exercise a couple times. But it was a great class, start to finish. The other thing I like that sprinkled in this class, if you have any interest at all or just curious, there is a little bit of sprinkle of intro to civilian patrol. I liked that part, mainly because, hey, you never know. Like, things have gone south in this country, and they continue to go that way. You might need a little bit of that information. Good to have again to have those tools in the toolbox and not need them than to not have them and absolutely need them. I have taken other intro to long distance patrol classes that were more military based, and I found this information. Again, they were both good complementary classes to each other. But I found some information in Patriot Training's Clay Howell's Expert Rifleman class to be more useful, and applying it to the civilian patrol style anyway. So take that for what it is. Maybe I'll review the other class that I took in a future video. But I wanted to get that out there, that sprinkled in there too. And the pacing of the class, start to finish, phenomenal. There was a steady increase. And by the end of it, we were doing things, shooting at 300 yards on demand. Anytime he called a name, if we were all on the line and he's called your name, you were on target, and boom, like, you took your shot, you made your hit. If you haven't shot at distance like that before, it is pretty fun. I gotta hand it to Clay. Not only was it engaging, but it was fun, and I enjoyed it. Again, he inspired me to want to train more with my rifle. I keep pointing at it as if y'all can see it. It's sitting off to my right now. But great class. I'm going to sum it all up here with basically just saying, if you haven't trained at Patriot Training, you need to do that. I get people asking me, hey, Jeremy, what other instructors do you recommend here in Tennessee? What classes? Hey, I want to do some rifle stuff. Hey, I want to do more of this or that. There's a reason I have on our training resources page, Patriot Training is listed there. There's a reason for that. And it's not just because I scratch his back, he scratches. That's not that at all. We didn't swap anything for that. It was, I actually said, hey, I would like to list you on our website because I've taken classes and trained with you. And because you have trained with me, I see what you're about. I want to inspire and push people into training with more instructors. The more training we all get, the better off we're going to be, right? So don't take this as just, oh, Jeremy's just pitching someone out there. I'm not going to do a review like this unless I had a super positive experience and I didn't feel like it wasn't useful to you. I'm not also not going to jump on here for a negative review of somebody, because if it's negative, it's not really helping anybody. If someone asks me about it, I'll give you my thoughts on it privately. But I'm not going to get on here to negatively bash another instructor because it doesn't help anybody. Doesn't help me. Doesn't help you. Doesn't help that instructor get better either. So take that for what it is. All right. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hey, we've got a full list of stuff coming your way. I mentioned some reviews coming for T-Rex Arms chest rig and their active shooter sling bag. Also got another gun review coming your way and some additional training content along with episode 2 finally in our podcast. By the way, we're going to try to do those once a month going forward because, wow, it's been too long since we've done our first one, and it was well received. So I appreciate you guys. Give a like, share, and subscribe on our channel if you like the content. I really do appreciate that. Hey, Middle Tennessee Firearms Training, educate, train, defend, and take your training beyond the lane. Take your training beyond the lane. What do I mean? Hey, if you're one of those guys that goes to the range, pulls the gun out of the bag, loads it up, shoots it, puts it back down, loads up some more mags, picks it up off the table, loads it up, shoots some more at an indoor range, we need to talk. You need to come visit us. Pay us a visit. Take your training beyond the lane of an indoor range. Hey, train hard, train safe. We'll see you next time.